The introduction to The Punishment of Medusa, the story of the cursed priestess, mythological comics, Greek mythology, requires setting the mythological context, which is essential in understanding the intricate layers of Medusa's story. This involves exploring the broader tapestry of Greek mythology where gods, mortals, and mythical creatures interact in a complex web of narratives. Medusa, once a beautiful priestess of Athena, is famously known for her transformation into a basileia, Gorgon, a monstrous figure with snakes for hair and a gaze that turns onlookers to stone. Contextualizing this myth offers insight into the ancient Greek worldview, which was rich with tales of divine intervention, punishment, and the interplay between fate and personal agency. Understanding Medusa's myth within this context highlights the theme of divine retribution, a recurring motif in Greek mythology. Her story addresses the precarious relationship between mortals and deities, underscoring how divine whims could drastically alter human lives. This narrative is significant as it reflects the societal values and moral lessons of ancient Greece, particularly regarding the consequences of transgressing divine laws or failing to adhere to one's designated role, such as Medusa's breach of her priestly duties. In modern interpretations, this myth can be seen in various artistic and literary expressions. One prominent example is the adaptation of Medusa's story in contemporary feminist literature, which reinterprets her as a symbol of victimhood and resilience against patriarchal structures. Another example is the depiction of Medusa in popular comics and graphic novels, where her story is used to explore themes of transformation, justice, and empowerment. Opinions supporting the reinterpretation of Medusa's myth often argue that her story is emblematic of the victim-blaming culture, offering a platform to discuss broader social issues related to gender and power dynamics. However, challenges arise in balancing traditional interpretations with modern sensibilities. Some purists argue that altering the myth diminishes its historical authenticity and cultural significance. Connecting this context to other aspects of the main topic, the reimagining of Medusa's tale in comics serves to engage audiences with age-old narratives while offering fresh perspectives. It influences the storytelling framework by weaving classical mythology with contemporary themes, encouraging readers to reflect on enduring human issues through the lens of myths. This contextual backdrop not only enriches the narrative arc of Medusa's punishment, but also allows for a nuanced exploration of mythological storytelling in a modern medium. The tale of Medusa, spanning her transformation from a devoted priestess to a monster, is one of the most intriguing stories in Greek mythology. Medusa, originally a beautiful maiden and a priestess in Athena's temple, was transformed into a Gorgon as a result of divine punishment. This transformation is emblematic of the harsh and often unjust whims of deity-driven fate within mythology. The story underscores themes of victimization, transformation, and the intersection of beauty and monstrosity, reflecting the complex interplay between divine will and human consequence. The significance of Medusa's transformation lies in its exploration of themes like power, innocence, and the consequences of divine retribution. Her story serves as a cautionary tale about the vulnerability of mortals to the capricious nature of gods. Additionally, it raises poignant questions about victim blaming and the consequences faced by those who are wronged yet punished. Medusa's tale does not end with her transformation. Instead, it expands as she becomes a symbol of fear and power, eventually influencing later interpretations of her character as an emblem of female rage and resilience. In the realm of real-world applications, Medusa's narrative can be seen influencing popular culture and feminist discourse. First, in art and literature, Medusa has been reimagined not just as a monster but as a figure of empowerment, challenging patriarchal narratives. For instance, her image has been used symbolically in feminist movements to represent the silencing and vilification of women who defy societal norms. Second, the story, finds its echo in modern discussions around victim blaming in sexual assault cases, provoking critical discourse on justice and victimhood. Various opinions emerge from Medusa's story. Some view her transformation as a narrative of unjust punishment, critiquing the god's tyranny. Others see her as a complex figure, embodying the duality of being both victim and monster, thus fostering empathy and understanding of her plight. However, challenges arise in her depiction. Some critiques argue that her transformation perpetuates harmful stereotypes about women and power, reducing her to a cautionary tale rather than a figure of agency. This story interconnects with broader themes of the mythological framework, influencing other narratives about divine-human interactions and the nature of punishment. Through Medusa's tale, the audience gains a deeper understanding of the dynamics within Greek mythology, where mortals are often pawns in the larger, unpredictable games of gods. Her narrative serves as a potent reminder of the complexities of power, beauty, and the enduring nature of myth in understanding human experience. The concept of the cursing of Medusa, causes and consequences, delves into the mythological narrative of Medusa, a character whose transformation from a beautiful priestess to a monstrous figure is both tragic and compelling. This story is pivotal as it explores themes of power, injustice, and transformation within Greek mythology. Medusa's curse is attributed to an incident in Athena's temple involving Poseidon, which results in Athena punishing Medusa by turning her hair into snakes and making her gaze petrify anyone who looks at her. This act of divine punishment reflects on broader themes of victimization and the harsh penalties imposed by the gods in mythic tales. The significance of this point is immense, as it highlights the capricious and often unjust nature of divine intervention in Greek myths. Medusa's transformation from victim to villain serves as a cautionary tale about the consequences of transgressing divine boundaries, intentional or otherwise. Furthermore, it emphasizes the lack of agency experienced by characters subject to the whims of powerful deities, portraying a universe where mortals are frequently left to suffer from celestial disputes. In terms of real-world applications, Medusa's story resonates in contemporary discussions about victim blaming and the societal tendency to punish the marginalized instead of addressing the root cause of a problem. Another example is its influence in feminist interpretations of mythology, where Medusa is sometimes viewed as a symbol of female rage and empowerment, pointing to the ways in which women's stories have been historically manipulated. Supporters of these interpretations argue that Medusa's myth serves as a metaphor for resilience against oppression, suggesting that her ability to petrify symbolizes the power of transforming one's trauma into a formidable defense. However, there are challenges and controversies attached to this viewpoint. Some argue that reading modern values into ancient myths can obscure their original context and meaning. Moreover, the portrayal of Medusa as a monstrous figure has been maintained in various adaptations, suggesting an enduring fascination with her villainous image. The cursing of Medusa is intricately linked with the overarching theme of transformation within her story, influencing her interactions with other mythological figures like Perseus, who ultimately defeats her. This transformation not only defines Medusa's existence but also serves as a narrative device to examine human reactions to divine injustice. By understanding the causes and consequences of Medusa's curse, we gain deeper insights into Greek mythology's exploration of fate, justice, and power dynamics, enriching our appreciation for these timeless tales. Symbolism in Medusa's punishment is a profound area of analysis that delves into more than just the literal interpretation of her myth. Medusa, once a beautiful priestess, was transformed into a monstrous figure with snakes for hair, whose gaze could turn onlookers to stone. This transformation is rich with symbolic meaning within Greek mythology. At its core, Medusa's punishment serves as a reflection of themes like victimization, the power dynamics between gods and mortals, and the vulnerability of beauty. The symbolism can be perceived as a commentary on the consequences of divine wrath and the intersection of beauty and terror. This point is significant in the broader context of Medusa's story because it raises questions about justice, power, and transformation. Medusa's myth is a vivid illustration of how beauty can be both a source of empowerment and a curse, and how divine power can drastically alter a mortal's fate for reasons that may be perceived as unjust by modern standards. This duality is crucial to understanding the complexities of her character and the societal values embedded in the myth. In modern applications, Medusa's story has been revisited in various forms of media, like feminist literature and art, where she is often reinterpreted as a symbol of female rage and empowerment. For example, some writers and artists depict Medusa as a figure wronged by the gods, using her story to highlight the injustices faced by women. Additionally, in psychological terms, Medusa's image is sometimes used in discussions about trauma and resilience, representing the transformation of beauty and innocence into something monstrous due to external forces. Despite the compelling interpretations that support Medusa as a symbol of injustice and female empowerment, there are challenges and alternative viewpoints to consider. Some traditional interpretations focus on her role as a monster to be vanquished, a viewpoint that diminishes her complexity and focuses purely on the heroics of Perseus. Moreover, the narrative of Medusa as a victim of Athena's punishment raises questions about the culpability of the gods and the fairness of divine justice. The symbolism tied to Medusa's punishment is intricately connected to the broader themes of Greek mythology, where the interplay between mortals and deities often reflects human struggles and societal norms. This deeper analysis of Medusa's story not only enhances our understanding of her character, but also enriches the mythological narrative, providing insight into the cultural and moral fabric of ancient Greece.